Alrighty, hey there everyone. We're back again with some more Minecraft today. Last time we built 3 extra mob farms in one sitting. So today we are finishing up said mob farms and we're going to install a roof. Just like we've done for our first one, we're going to install a 3/4 of a circle roof on the remaining 3. And we're going to wait for the world to load in here a little bit because it is a little laggy. You would like to guess why. But yeah, in order to do this, we really just need a massive shit ton of cobblestone. Frankly, there's no way around it. I don't need that right now. So we're gonna go ahead and just pop on down into our base and go do some cool stuff. So that'll be cool. And let's go ahead and pop on down. Might have gone too low. Oh, just in time. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and fill up 2 shulkers worth of cobble. And with this cobble, we can actually get some stuff going. I've got plots of Martler pulled up here on my side, so I can make sure I can build this properly. And this should be pretty easy to do. Just gonna take a little bit of time and effort is all, but there's nothing wrong with that. There we go. I'm on now. They are starting to dip into some of our reserve cobblestone though, which you should be a little wary of, but that's fine. Probably. There we go, we got those. And additionally, I also want to make sure that I have some lightning rods. Extra lightning rods, always nice to have, especially since we will be placing them on each of the sides. There we go. And we'll tuck those away, and that should get us enough cobblestone to get this done. We're not going to split it up into slabs yet, we're going to go bit by bit to do that. Additionally, you should be able to see that we have an iron golem in here that'll beat stuff to death that falls. And again, we do get very minor amounts of lossage once in a while. Just nothing to particularly worry about. It's very minor. You can see some things look like they do actually live the landing, and then the zombie, the iron golem, does manage to kill him. So how is he doing here? He looks like he's doing very well. He looks like he's basically in full health, so good. That's working out nicely. Got a couple of witch drops there too. We've actually got almost 2 stacks of redstone dust just from witch drops, which is honestly pretty incredible there, so that is certainly interesting. And we're gonna just throw those off the cliff. We don't care much for those. Doing good on bones, doing great on gunpowder. Rotten flesh, whatever. And yeah. So let's go ahead and get started on the roof up here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Ian's video says that it is 24 blocks. Or 21. Yep, 21 blocks in the center is what we're aiming for. So if we go to our circle plotter as well, we know that the radius is 21, so 21 times 2 is 42, plus the 1 block in the center is 43. So we want to build a 43 block diameter circle here, and then cut away the extra portion, and then we should be good. So let's go ahead and pop up a floor, and go ahead and get these built. Let's see here. We're going to use some scaffolding to do this as well. So that way we don't disturb the water source that's already here. We'll just do bits at a time. There we go, something like that. So that way we got enough space on us. Handy dandy iron farm still seems to be producing. Still got our bone blocks and whatnot. And we're still getting some iron, so that's good. Looks like we got a random cat out there. All right. We're gonna go ahead and hop on up to the tippy top here. Do a little something like that. This is also where I would get myself a lightning rod and a torch. And we would go ahead and start building. So first things first, let's build out just a little like this. And we need to build 21 blocks out, so we've already done one. So we need 20 more. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Boom, 21. And let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There we go. And let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And we'll go ahead and build out another batch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Boom, good. I got a very bad feeling about this. Yeah, because objectively that's still even there, which is good. It's just because it doesn't physically line up with the other portion is what makes this feel awkward. Because of how I had this lined up, it won't line up with this edge. In fact, where would this line up anyways? Oh, really tough decisions here. Oh, shit. And I had built it like that explicitly. I built that like that explicitly because I wanted it to line up with the actual circle, and I shouldn't have probably done that. Oh, I really don't want to tear down 2 fucking farms and rebuild them. Oh, no. We don't necessarily have to keep it like this. We can use slabs to stretch it over because that's what we did there too. So we actually shouldn't think too hard about this for right now because I'm going to make a decision I'm going to regret and then refix it anyways. So let's just very simply just make sure that we got our 21 on everything and start with that. Let's not worry about nothing else. Let's just make sure we can do that first and foremost. Because I really, really do not want to move stuff. Because that is a very horrible idea. And I will regret it, so. But for now, let's just keep things nice and simple here and do our 21 on each side for all 4 of them first to get me started. And then we'll kind of go from there. So that's 1 on each, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, and it's actually too dark in certain spots, which we need to go take care of first then. Yeah. There we go, it's a little better. That should keep things nice and intact there. do have 21 on each side. Or at least on that first side. We really just need to place stuff until our stack gets down to 44. Like so. And then to 24, and then to 4. This will cut out a lot of the counting that we need to do since we'll have like pre-counted stacks. There we go. And we're gonna take a quick detour to go light up this stuff. And as you can see, we do have a couple of minor dark spots that we want to make sure we tend to. A baby zombie with a sword, that's not cool. Nope, just a regular baby zombie. Get out of here. Anyways, I'll go ahead and stop these dark spots here. We had more this direction too. Oh, and a whole cave apparently. I don't know how I never caught this. Because it was a sub-cave that led into this cave. That would be why. Okay, well, that's easy enough to patch. We'll get there one day. Alright, let's go ahead and get on over here. And get this all done. I'll buy our cow pen so we don't actually want to do anything too goofy here. Rude. There we go. And then we'll have to light up this section as well. Currently on day 408, so we are definitely getting up there. Past day 400 last time as well, so that's pretty cool. We need to be careful climbing up here because there's almost definitely going to be some shit up here. Looks like we're okay. Yeah, it should be fine for now. We'll do some more lighting another time, but that'll cover me for the moment. Alright. Then all we gotta do is pop on up here. Not do that. There we go. Do a little something like that. That. And count out till we're at 44. Here we go, still have a little bit there. At 24. And we'll restock. And 44 again. Seems like we got a baby zombie out running around down there. And a regular zombie, I think, too. So there could be a chance that like some chicken jockey bullshit has happened, but we will go take a look at that real quick. Pick up a bone. Throw some of that stuff down, and there's also a chance that certain things are not spawn proof down here anymore. So let's make sure we take the time to go light everything up down here as well. Oh, and also get rid of that at some point. We'll just put it there, I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Do a little something like that, and then we'll go do it on the other side again just to make sure that we line everything up. Symmetry is really important and all that here, so there we go. We just gotta inset it a little bit more, and that'll be good. Alright, so now we can go ahead and start building a circle. Right, let's go ahead and get that lining done. Go ahead and get some shit built out. Shouldn't be too bad. Alright. So, on each of the tips, we need to go out, other than that way, that's a little different. We need to go out 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that on all of them. We're only going to do one circle at a time, just for simplicity's sake. I'm not going to try and do all of them simultaneously, just to make my life a little bit easier. We go out 4 on each of them, and we're mainly focused on getting the actual circle, like, built, and then we can fill it in. But, you know. That's 4 on each end. There we go. Alright. Technically, there's nothing stopping me from just having the roof be off-center, and then since this is all would be covered up, you would never know anyways. But I'm not going to worry about that for now. And then it's going to be 3, 2, 2, 1. Yep, it'll be 3, 2, 2, 1. We're doing okay on slabs. We'll have to make some more here in a little bit. So 3, 2, 2, 1. And we're going to go ahead and do that on all sides. There we go. Yep, we got 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 1. All right, there we go. And then we do 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, and 2. That'll connect up all the bits. Whoops. There we go. All right, so that's one of them done. I think we'll try this a little different, where we're going to, first of all, go grab some extra slab before we actually do anything else. There we go. And we're going to complete the circle on all of them. Just that way we've actually got all of them. So again, on each side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do that first on all of them. And we'll get these all built. There we go, we got 4 on each. Just got to do this last one. There we go, and then we'll do 3, 2, 2, 1. There we go. Alright, there we go, that's another one done. And we've got one more to go do. I don't think I can jump that either. Our trees are fully regrown as well. Luckily we shouldn't need to tend to those for a while, because we got all the wood we needed for the chest last time, so we don't need to worry about that for now. Although we will need to expand out our actual storage system to be a lot bigger to account for a lot of these kinds of mob drops and things like that, so that will happen in the near future. There we go. Alright. Now let's get this built. There we go. It's 3, 2, 2. Now it's 1. There we go. So all the circles are built out now, we just need to fill them in, which is gonna take a while. Oh, I wonder if we do controls, keybinds, place block, it's C. I wonder if we could build this a lot quicker. Nope. Not in a way that would matter, I guess. Yep, because then it's just going to lead to that, so we're not going to go for that, unfortunately. Dang. Oh well. And we'll just work through the night for something like this as well. Does that really affect what we're doing here, since we're just placing in a bunch of blocks? Already been half an hour as well. It's currently 1:35 here today on a nice Sunday in Florida. It is November 23rd, 2025. We're coming up on the end of the year here pretty soon. Hard to believe how much has changed in just 6 months, let alone a year. But it's changed for the best. Alright, we got a quarter of a circle done, so making progress. I'm also trying to think of what to do with this space that we're going to have, these circles. Because I do want to do stuff on top of them and have them be useful, so I might do some kind of castle pillar-esque kind of thing on the outside, and then on the inside they're like certain farms or something. Maybe this is also where I could sneak in my bamboo farms. That way I could have like green areas all the way up here instead of these massive like concrete circles. Because again, like these are still staying. Like I'm not gonna replace the cobblestone with anything else. This is still here. Um, but I will put something over the top of it so we can actually use this space effectively, you know? So it may or may not look like a bamboo farm, depending on what we decide to do. Because we could probably do like a couple of bamboo farms up here and then maybe intersperse it with sugarcane or something. That could be cool. So that way because with a flying machine, right, the same flying machine can harvest bamboo, sugarcane, and kelp as long as your farm arrangement would allow it. Kelp's obviously a lot trickier because you have to like, wall everything off, and frankly, I don't use kelp for anything, so I probably won't farm it for a very long time. The only time I do will be because like, oh, I ran out of shit to farm and I need kelp for something super niche and specific, but otherwise it's worthless to me. So I will probably have hybrid bamboo sugarcane farms on these. And then I could also mix in like villager based like wheat, carrot, potato farms and stuff like that too. And then that's also where I could like move the honey farms up into these areas too, because the bees would work well with villager farms. Or you could also integrate a honey farm into it as well, since they'll pollinate the crops that the villagers harvest and replant, which also lets the bees get more honey and things of that nature. And we could have cool looking like glass domes or something like that to help make sure that everything's fully contained in its own little area. So I think we'll do something like that, where we'll have 2 of these be sugarcane and bamboo, and then 2 of the others be villager and honey products. So that way we can automatically farm wood and crops on a mass scale. Well, wait a minute. Other than wheat, because wheat's used to make like mud, or rather packed mud specifically, which is actually a very nice block that I would want to make a lot of. I could farm carrots for carrots, right, which is fine. And I guess for the potatoes, because I really don't care about potatoes anymore, because I kind of don't have to. So what would I even need potatoes for, really? Also, real quick, we're going to build that out by 1. And we're going to go ahead and do this semicircle portion, as this one is a little bit trickier. It goes there. Yeah. Let me just count. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. And then 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2 with a turn. 1, 1, 2, 2. And it would go all the way out to there. And then technically, I could just trim out like a side or whatever, but I don't need to do that. But yeah, like I was saying, I realistically could use like carrots for like if I wanted to breed pigs or something like a weirdo, but realistically it's gonna be more for like golden carrots. If I had a gold farm that was so like efficient that like I had all this extra gold and I didn't have anything else to do with it, I could make a bunch of golden carrots instead of buying them in like smaller spurts, which would permanently cover me on good food forever. Wheat is really useful for just hay bales in general, because hay bales are kind of nice and niche, and then the hay of it as well is kind of good for packed mud, as I'd mentioned earlier. And trying to think what else. Yeah, again, carrots are for golden carrots, which I guess makes night vision and all that kind of stuff. And then potatoes are just there to be turned into baked potatoes, right? I mean, you can breed pigs with potatoes, but like they're really more for like an early game food where it's a crop that you can grow and cook and replant without having to do anything extra. So it's better than bread because you don't have to take wheat and turn it into bread. And it's better than carrots because you don't have to make golden carrots to make them an actual usable food. You can just plop them on a campfire, eat them, and you're good. And they do as much as all the other early game food like that. So they're pretty good. They're good for that, but then once you're past that stage, then what? You know? There's pretty much nothing for them, so I'll probably end up, obviously burning the poisonous potatoes, and then for the regular potatoes, I'll probably just have them go into a composter, so that way we can get more bone meal, because bone meal for certain things is really nice. Because we could also use that bone meal to farm 2 tall flowers or something if we need more dye. And then that'll get us a renewable, easy way to get all that dye too. And then we could start implementing a lot more color into certain things. That would be pretty cool. But we'll see. There's a ton of different ways we could farm stuff and a ton of different ways we could do things here. So it's all just a matter of personal preference and finding out what we need and what space we have to work with to do what we need to do. Which is fine. Another quarter here done of our new circle, which is good. I think I would quit doing that by now, but apparently not. Here we go. It's our last little bit of cobblestone. We'll have to go ahead and get some more here. And our last step to really tying all this together is going to be getting a bunch of tinted glass, which we can do easy enough. I mean, again, we can go get the amethyst from the geode that we followed out below our base and then wait for that to regenerate. But the glass part, we can only trade so much in one sitting with those villagers that actually it should be enough because by the time we buy out all the villagers for the day, we could go back home, combine it with our amethyst, make all that tinted glass, place all the tinted glass, and then by the time all the tinted glass is placed, villagers should be ready to give us more. So we should be fine. We'll need to grind for emeralds a little bit more though with the iron trade, which we can do just fine. It just means that it's going to be a little bit slower because we can spend emeralds faster and in bigger quantities than we can make them with just iron. So that's kind of the trade-off there. But again, nothing to really worry about. Get to it when we get to it. There we go, let's get that fixed up. And keep placing all of this in. Tomorrow I'll be streaming quite a lot as well once I'm back from doing some stuff around town. I get Mondays off finally, so that'll be pretty cool. I don't know what I'll want to do tomorrow. I guess we can go like netherite mining or maybe actually go take on another ancient city and like trial chamber or something. There's a lot of them we still haven't done anything with yet. Maybe we'll go to the end and go farm some shulkers for a little bit too, because I've got enough shulker boxes to do like day-to-day things, but I don't have a lot beyond that. You know, and I really am going to get to a point here pretty soon where I just need more shulker boxes to store things in a more efficient manner as we start dealing with a lot more stuff. So, especially with the insane output that these 4 mob farms are going to give, I seriously need to have shulker box loaders to start keeping up with them after a certain point. So, I'll see how that turns out. There we go. And that is another quarter of our circle all nice and done. From here, we need to line up with whatever we got, which I think is here. There we go, do a little something like that. That'll go ahead and get those sides all matching. Alright, there we go. That is another side completely done. I kind of guessed. Oh well. Just out of curiosity, let's see if this looks too bad from the top or not. I'd say it still looks good. It smoothly transitions around enough that I don't really have any gripes with having the extra bits like extended the way that they are, so. And again, you physically aren't going to be able to see all these unless you have like a map or something, so I think that'll still be okay. And frankly, even knowing that like this right one is different from this left one, I physically cannot spot the difference in here. like using the calcite kind of as a ruler here, it lines up perfectly up to a point there. So like I don't really have any issues with it. So I think it was a good call to just leave it alone. You know, just trust the process and not do anything too hasty, because if you did, then you would highly regret it later when you'd have to rebuild it as you had it before. So, bit of a lesson there, but I don't know. Anywho, let's go ahead and place in our last batch of cobblestone slabs to get these roofs all done. Is the plural of roofs, like the plural of hooves, or is it roofs, like R-O-F-F-S? R-O-O-F-S. Jesus Christ, man, you think I would know how to spell by now, but nope, apparently not. That's alright. But who knows? That Iron Golem is still putting in some nice work, luckily. I just saw him kill something down there that had landed and lived. And again, if we want like a guaranteed permanent way to kill stuff that lands in there, then we can use campfires, but if they land on the wall part, then they won't die. And if they land outside of it, then they probably will die, because the odds of them landing outside of the wall completely and also being a mob that can tank something like that is like slim to none. Not that it's impossible, but it's very unlikely, so it's usually okay. And yeah, if I do feel like it, I could probably move the iron golems down a little bit and then have them patrol like the perimeter of it, and then replace the slabs with soul campfires like I talked about before, so that way there's no relying on a golem that could die. But again, he looks like he's been doing a pretty good job, that I don't really feel a big need to mess with that, you know? We should also sleep here in a second. I don't want to start dealing with phantoms. If I get knocked off while I'm working on this, and I'm too far out, I'll have to either panic switch to an Elytra or just straight up water bucket clutch, which, given my track record, I don't feel particularly confident about doing. So I would rather not, but that's alright. Anywho, let's go ahead and get all this put back down. Starting to run out of slabs again here, so we'll go ahead and empty this out. And then we still have a whole nother shulker box of cobblestone that we can use, so we shouldn't run out here, and if we do, we've got extra. I also want to make a proper, like, whole landing pad, like a circular landing pad for the Happy Ghast. So I'll probably stretch that out more and like cover up certain bits here. So that way, like about in the middle there where like that wildflower is, I'll have the center point and then a nice circular like helipad just for the gas to sit on. And then that still is connected to my nether portal for me to bring things through too, so that'll be nice and good. But yeah, after not even 50 minutes, we're literally just coming up on the 50-minute mark, we've already filled in 2 circles, basically 3. We're working on our 3rd one here right now. And again, the part that's going to take the longest here today isn't this, it's actually going to be the glass. Because the amount of glass we need, and actually just getting the glass is the kind of annoying part because of the trading we're going to have to do. Which we honestly should have enough glass-based librarians, that shouldn't be too much of an issue, but you never know. But we'll get it done today all the same. Gotta go get my car fixed up tomorrow too. I'm overdue for an oil change, and I gotta get my car, make sure it's all fully ready to go, because I have to make like a 2-hour drive or something back to my old town for Thanksgiving, so that's gonna be a little bit of driving there. but I'm sure it'll be fine. This week at work will be pretty easy too, because since I'm on 410, I only have to work Tuesday through Friday. But because it's also Thanksgiving weekend, they give us Thanksgiving Day and the day after Thanksgiving off as well. So it's only a 2-day work week for me. And if I just have like a lot of meetings in the next 2 days to do some like wrap up stuff with some other people, then like that's pretty freaking easy to do. Because they do give you a lot of time for your actual work, but like, you know, meetings are like, yeah, you're working because you're in a meeting for your job, but like, you don't necessarily have to do a whole lot in a meeting or in certain meetings. Certain meetings, you know, if you're the one leading it, then there's a lot more involved in it, but otherwise, you're probably fine, so it's not too bad. But I'm looking forward to having a nice 5-day break next weekend. Because again, I get the Monday after it off. So I get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off, which will be pretty cool. Although Christmas break is the only one that's like a little kind of goofy and jank, where like for that one, I get Wednesday and Thursday off because that's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but then we have to go back to work on Friday. So like realistically, nobody's gonna work. Like, okay, people will be at work on that Friday, but like nothing's gonna really get done because a lot of other places are either gonna be closed or feeling the same kind of way. We're like, dude, it's the day after Christmas. I don't care. It is a Friday and it is the day after Christmas. I literally do not care and I will do nothing, which is completely valid. So that'll be a super easy day to just not to sit around and do nothing. Like I'm still gonna be doing stuff, but again, like there's certain bits at work that you need people for, and if people aren't there, then you can't do it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it is. So I'll probably keep learning VBA on my time there because VBA in Excel is really useful for writing macros, and I want to get better at that because I also want to get back into doing actual programming and shit, and that's the most accessible option that I have to me because it's something I can justify for work, and then it's something I can actually tangibly use while I'm at work too. So it's pretty much just a win-win all around for me on that front, which is pretty nice. But we are coming up on the end of it all here. I might have overdone it on the slabs a little bit, but that's alright. Yeah, I'm gonna start learning like programming here in different languages soon-ish. I'm using Visual Basic first during like this kind of period that I'm at right now where I don't have a lot of work that I'm solely responsible for, and if I do, it's fairly simple and straightforward for me to do. And while I have this time and I actually have like enough brain capacity, I want to actually learn programming because I've already got a lot of the ideas down because of what I've done with Excel, but actually expressing it in a different programming language is like one of the last particularly big steps for me before I can actually start doing really cool stuff with it. So I got a lot of the thought processes down and things of that nature. It's just sitting down and applying it to somewhere else, you know? That's always the tough part. But I am getting there. And let's go ahead and get this drawn out. And then we just gotta get this filled in. And then we can go ahead and harvest our amethyst. And then go get the glass. Here we go. Alright, all of them are done. Very cool. So we're gonna pop on down into the world and go ahead and get some amethyst again. And while we're here, we'll also go ahead and check on these. These have done pretty well since I've left them. Getting a little bit of bone blocks there. It's always good. And with that roof in place, we can effectively let these go now. We don't have to leave these off anymore now that the roof is here. Although I will say we do need to start doing some better lighting around certain portions here. And then this is our actual starting one that we have. How are they doing in here? Oh, wow. Wait, the golem died? Oh shit, he died. Okay. Wow, they can die. Okay. Oh, fuck. My bad, little man. So these guys are struggling to keep pace right now, which is a little disappointing. There we go. Okay, and we'll do another run around. Make sure that everything is fully on and working at max capacity. Certainly looks like it. Let's also, real quick, get this knocked out of the way too. There we go, and we're good. So the golems will die at some point, and I really don't want to replace them. So we're just probably going to leave them dead, unfortunately. I don't really care about them. They're there, they're little guys, you know, they're trying their best, but once they die, it's going to be quite a lot of, investment saying to keep going and keep them alive. So I will probably implement actual controls on that kind of stuff at some point where, you know, we can actually keep shit going with soul campfires, but again, don't have a particularly big need for that at the moment, but we will work on that down the line. But for now, let's just go ahead and pop on up into our bedroom here, like so. We'll go ahead and sleep, and then we'll go down to the bottom of the world and go get all of the shards. I wonder, is there a way, okay, for a farm like that, is there a way for me to not have it double as an iron farm per se, but if I had an iron cell, right, where you had 3 villagers and a zombie and they would panic and spawn golems, because they will only spawn one golem until that golem is gone and then they'll spawn another one. So if I had like an iron cell where it could spawn golems in the ring, and I could get it to spawn there and just have it exist, it would still want to beat up hostile mobs infinitely. It just can't get a hold of that zombie that the villagers are scared of, and it doesn't think it can, so it won't even try. So then we could infinitely keep it stocked with iron golems, which would be kind of useful. And again, too, that seems like a lot of extra effort for something that could just be solved with go grind campfires if you really need to, or it's a really rare chance. Why are you trying to account for that, you know? So all of it'll really depend on use case. So looks like this place has grown out a little bit. And we're also at the trading hall too. We're gonna make sure to take time to properly make like a sculpting pickaxe that I can leave down here that's just got fortune, unbreaking, and mending, but not efficiency. Because efficiency will fuck everything up. At some point, if you make too many mistakes, you're gonna crater everything. That one was a step too small. So was that one, apparently. It can be a little hard to tell sometimes since I don't work with amethyst so much, but there we go. Go. Are doing fairly solid on shards. That's good. There we go. I'm sure that's enough of the amethyst too. I don't have to get like absolutely everything. Yeah, that'll cover us. Alright, so we can go ahead and maybe take that back. There we go. Got almost another full shulker box of amethyst here, which is pretty good. Can't go too wrong with that. I should probably take at least one of these back up with me. Just that way I can empty out and reclaim a shulker box again. Alright. Also go ahead and clean some of this out. There we go. And another batch of shards. That's definitely getting us closer to what we're looking for. Alright, we got 3 empty boxes now we can work with again. That's good. And all we really need to do is go get glass. So we're going to go ahead and take some of our tools back with us. Restock a little bit on food. There we go. And we're just going to go get a crap ton of iron up from the iron farm real quick. And we're going to go bring it with us to the trading hall. And we're going to go get a bunch of emeralds and glass. That should cover us there. We still got our farms working pretty well in all directions. Yep. They won't spawn closer to this side because of the lighting, but they will still spawn at least, which is huge. Other golems are doing fine enough, so they should be okay. But yep, let's go ahead and get our elytra on real quick. We'll go pull out our fireworks, and we'll go ahead and pop on down to our nether portal. There we go. Alright. All we gotta do is trade up some of this iron that we've got into emeralds, trade those emeralds into glass, and box up all of that glass. We'll also take this opportunity to get some of our tools all fixed up here. Get about 2 stacks of emeralds at a time doing this. We're gonna buy all these guys out of their glass and then we'll go to bed. And then when we wake up, we'll keep trading. We're out of space here. That is a pretty good batch of glass for a single set of trading. So every 2 days we can get over a shulker box of glass from trading alone. Between physically having no emeralds to start with, just iron, trading away the iron to get emeralds, emeralds to get glass. And if we do have additional emeralds on hand already, then we can buy even more. So that is pretty freaking solid. Also put our bow in our offhand. And we'll wait for these guys to refresh their trades. In the meantime, I don't think there's anything I really need to buy. You're pretty much fine too. In fact, that guy's redundant now that we have enough string to auto-craft bows on demand, which should be pretty good. And yeah, we're just waiting. Gotta get them to refresh their stock. Doing good on iron as well. We'll leave a stack of iron blocks here too, just that way we've got some more trading material way later. And it sounds like they've refreshed. We'll go ahead and buy all of these guys out of all their glass again. Probably disable hitboxes since we're not going to need them in a place like this. Oh, and that's right, we also wanted to make our sculpting pickaxe too. So we can take Unbreaking 3, Mending, and Fortune. And we're going to go ahead and trade up again. We should have spare diamond pickaxes already in one of our chests too. Alright, that is probably our last batch of glass for now. And we got that. There we go. Okay, with these unbreaking, yeah, we'll take an unbreaking one. We'll put one of our unbreaking books back too. Alright, first things first, mending plus fortune. Fortune plus mending, rather. And take one of those, and we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it amethyst, which that's how you spell it, right? Oh, it's A-M-E. I got my Y and E mixed up. Amethyst. There we go. We'll bring that back with us. And we're good. That should be enough glass to convert into tinted glass based on the amethyst shards that we have access to at the moment. Seems as though we don't have any leather, but we do have some cows we can go kill real quick. And we don't have any leather. Alright, well, you guys have been here long enough. Oh, you're scared because you know what's coming. You're so right, though. A good try to escape, but no, that's not happening. Anyways, let's go ahead and craft these up into item frames. We'll dump the sticks back off. We got a bunch of other weird shit we could always go clean out one day, but it's not hurting anything by being here, so I don't really care. And yeah, we'll go ahead and take our boat back home and go make a bunch of tinted glass. And we will hopefully have enough to wrap all of this up. But we'll see. There we go. Alright, oh, well. We actually need to go make the tinted glass first, so we're not going to be able to fly up there until we go ahead and craft all this up. And either way, we're going to actually take a quick visit down into here. And we're going to go ahead and drop this pickaxe off first that we just got. We already got some growth again, so that's always nice. Still left some bits of amethyst floating around, I guess, so... There we go, just doing that little bit. We got another 48 shards to work with, very cool. And we can just go ahead and pop on back up to the surface. We've already cleared out most of this ancient city as well. Not all of it, but most of it. So this is pretty safe up to a point. There's still some loot I never got, and there's still parts of it that are untapped, so we will eventually, you know, go back and go get all that stuff, but we don't need to for a while. So I'm not going to worry about it for now. Instead, we're just going to go ahead and take our elevator back up to our storage room. And in our storage room, we're going to go ahead and load up on shards. Many shards as we can carry here for right now. And a little more. There we go. Alright. And we're also gonna go ahead and do that. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and toss all of the glass out there. There we go. It's going to be amethyst. It's going to be the limiting factor here, ain't it? There we go. Yeah, that'll probably be enough to at least get started for now. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of the glass away. And last but not least, we're going to go ahead and put the iron away. Was that chest up there? And we'll go ahead and pop up into our bedroom and go sleep real quick. There we go. Alright. And we'll make a nice simple flight down. Go ahead and grab ourselves some tinted glass. And we're physically too close to a lot of these spots that we shouldn't have anything right to spawn here. Right, we are basically done with this semicircle. There we go. That's another part done. We got a whole bunch of shit over there. Alright, we're almost done with this section, like so. How about now? There we go. So we got yet another section done, which is great. We'll go ahead and brush all of these away. There we go. And we should definitely have enough tinted glass to complete the remainder. So nice. Off by one. Okay, we're at an hour and a half already. Oh, there goes that one. Alright, and last block. Go ahead and get this mined away too. There we go. Alright, so with that, we've officially sealed everything off. Everything is good, it's usable, it's symmetrical on all the different sides. And yeah. And it looks like all of the farms do work. It's just obviously if we get too close to any one farm on this level specifically, then it's going to stop working, but the one in the opposite corner will continue to work. If I were to sit here, we're going to not get anything on any of these, but you'll see we'll get some there, we'll get some there, and we'll definitely get some on the other side, you just can't see them. So we've got a good leftover amount of tinted glass from all that too, which is great, because I definitely need it. I don't need it right now, but I will want it later, I'm sure, for some of the other spawner farms that we inevitably work on. Especially like that spider spawner that we have marked down. We could definitely use it there. It'd be pretty useful. There we go. And we got an empty box again. And we got 3 empty boxes we can work with. Cool. We're also going to go ahead and grab another stack of torches out from our ship. And we're also going to clean all of this out too, because I actually completely forgot that I had any leftover stuff anywhere. But it's just redstone and chest, so this is like super easy to patch back up real quick, rather to patch into the correct spots. There we go, and everything's all clean. We'll go ahead and put our scaffolding away too while we're at it here. And we're gonna also take a minute to ensure that all of these are Y. Guessing it was another chicken jockey. Yeah, see, that's the other thing too. Again, it's very rare, but we did have a skeleton and a zombie, or a baby zombie rather, so nothing that we can't handle, but they're keeping up a lot better here, that's good. We've got our iron and our poppies from the golem who died. I'll go ahead and just toss his remains overboard. You can see we've got quite a lot of redstone from witch drops here, interestingly enough. And a lot of gunpowder. Like, holy crap, we actually have a lot of shit here just dotted around. Wow. Okay, so with that, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna start sorting everything away best of our ability. So we're gonna put gunpowder there, gunpowder there, and then I think it was like rotten flesh there, arrows there, and then I had like 2 string. And then bones. I had 2 bones, that's what it was. That's our leftover. There we go. Again, very tiny amounts of lossage, but nothing to be particularly worried about. Those can go there. Go. And then we got our last one here that we have to go deal with. Pack of gunpowder, rotten flesh, string, bone, just to get that knocked off, and arrows. Alright, let's go ahead and get this last filter all set up here with these copper golems, and we will officially have this all done. Alright, then we got some more witch drops, and yeah, there we go. Big guy hanging out up there, look at him go. Alright, so officially we have every single drop all fully accounted for and taken care of. All these are up to their full capacity. Our lighting is good on 99% of terrain, barring a couple of spots way out on some of the different edges and whatnot, which we're going to go ahead and fly on out into the world to go take care of. There we go. Got ourselves a zombie there that we've now taken care of. There we go. There we go. That should be mostly lit up. I think we got like some tiny dark spots here and there, but nothing to particularly worry about. Apparently we had a cave here the whole time I didn't know about. Either Freaky Generation or an Enderman has been down here constantly. Oh, that was the whole cave. I'm gonna ignore those emeralds, it's not my problem. I don't mind a lot of the ores anymore just because I don't really need them, so rather try and preserve as much of the mountain as I can now that I've taken what I've needed and nothing more than that, you know? Oh, baby zombie. Bit of an unfortunate miss there, but I think we got something nearby. Yep. Oh, he dropped a potato. Nope, that was an egg, I think. I don't know. I'm not paying enough attention for me to notice or care, so we're just gonna romp on through this fairly mindlessly and just go light up some of these darker bits out on the sides that we have missed. And this will help not only with protecting ourselves, but this will also help with our rates that we have for our farm. So it is very worthwhile to do this kind of stuff. And again, we're at a point in the game where like death really, unless I fuck up horrendously like I did the other time I had died, where I stepped through another port that you explicitly warned not to step through, and I didn't make a proper exit strategy in case anything bad happened, then like I probably won't die. So as long as I literally don't build that kind of farm again, and don't do anything stupid with those said farms, I really should be okay. Shouldn't have any issues. A spider with an egg. Yeah, we also got a tunnel that runs into this dripstone cave here next to our base that I am planning on making a lava farm or something similar in this area at some point. Something a little bit more like something that needs to be a little bit larger but also needs to be close and out of the way at the same time, if that makes any sense. Where like I need space to work with it and I want to be able to access it fairly regularly, but I also don't want it to be like right on my doorstep or anything. Also, this is part of the circle, so we can't do it there. We would have to make sure that we explicitly did it over here or something. But yeah, I mean, we got all the time in the world to figure something like that out, so I think it's really just a matter of carving out these kinds of bits that are out here and just making a flat enough space to put down a bunch of cauldrons, easily accessible dripstone, and having a bunch of storage here for storing lava buckets. So it's nothing too hard. So a spider spawner there, and then that's actually our slime slash XP farm that we were going to make at some point, but we'll have to probably take it down and move it somewhere else. Because that spot isn't going to quite work out for us anymore, given the fact that it overlaps with this circle, so... We've still got some extra iron there, that's good. This is still working, I would assume. It's just probably tough to see right now, given the fact that we're fairly close and we're just waiting for things to spawn, but this is still working out fine. I think we'll do one last check on it down below, just to see how things are, and then we will probably call it there for today. Be a little bit shorter, but that's alright. This is our original one, by the way, you can tell, because it's actually, like, fucking flooded with stuff. Wow, and it's got a lot of witch drops again, so... That is kind of nuts. So yeah, with this, we'll never run out of gunpowder again. We don't have to worry about string, and in fact, we can actually use string to make wool if we really decide we ever want to or need to, which is pretty good. Go. But they are keeping up with demand pretty well. It's just I want to make sure that I'm doing enough checks on that to ensure that that's the case. And yeah, they're certainly keeping up with it, even on our original. So they aren't struggling too hard. They're struggling a little bit more here, so I'll give them a little bit of a helping hand just for now. I think long term they'll be able to keep up, so I'm not too worried, but it is good every once in a while to kind of go out of your way and just verify some of these things. Our iron golem cracked? Oh, he looks pretty healthy. So I know eventually they're gonna like whittle away and die, so... Wither away and die, rather. Alright, Sandio, we'll go ahead and give him a little helping hand here. Sometimes when we get gunpowder, it's because witches can die and they can drop gunpowder, so that's why we'll get that. Go. Alright, and that's all of our stuff sorted away, so we're gonna go ahead and go on up to our base and call it good for today. We got a lot done. We got the circles all fully mapped out, and we really don't have a lot that we need to worry about anymore. Again, I think next time we will try to come up with a plan for these when it comes to farming, and do some other bits and bobs as time goes on. Maybe we'll take a day, maybe tomorrow we'll take part of our time to just do more fun stuff. Like maybe we'll make like a map room or something like that to have like a map of our base somewhere. So we'll come up with some things that we can do nearby just to map out some of this shit. But it is a pretty good base. We'll go take a peek at it from a different angle. Go across the way here real quick and pop on over, and you can definitely see that it is pretty large and foreboding, which is pretty cool. And once we get some decorative stuff around the side, I'm sure it'll help it that much more. But yeah, I think it is pretty nice. Big fan. And yeah, we'll go ahead and just take a picture of that real quick. And we'll go ahead and pop down and sleep. I guess we can't really sleep. We'll just go ahead and call it here on day 415. Let me go ahead and pull up that screenshot real quick. Dang, we got a pretty cool looking face there. We'll have to take another picture of that a little later when it's not raining, but I don't need to worry about that today. But yeah, that is going to do it for me for now. It's day 415, and I will probably be back later this afternoon. If not, I will be back tomorrow. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again next time. Bye bye.